Alright, here we go, people. Today we have a 1974/75 RV motorhome 440. I'm going to show you guys a couple of specific things to the RVs/vans, because I know you guys want to stick a 440 in your van. First of all, about 99% of these RVs, you're not going to be able to use the transmission that's on the big block because of the drum, the fact that it's a short tail, and that it's a bolt-on yoke. So this guy is pretty much good for parts, unless you know somebody who has a spare transmission, a car one, and then you can swap the entire transmission guts into it. The only reason you'd want to do that is because this does have the Hemi drums, or whatever they're calling the Hemi drums. It is heavy duty. It has all the good parts. Excuse me there, Molly. Yes, I know. I know you want to be a star. Look, you can be a star, okay? That's right, you're a star. Other oddities, cable/vacuum/electric, alright, cruise control. I've already disconnected some of this stuff. One of the other features of the RVs is that they get this big plate right on the back of the motor, and that's where they mount all the electronics. You're only going to see this in a Class A motorhome. The Class C motorhomes, they mount it right on the firewall like everybody else. This is actually a cool little piece. I was telling my brother, it's a nice little piece to use for a hot rod application because everything's already on the plate. And I'll show you what I mean. Once I take the cruise control off and out of the way, I can take the two tranny bolts out, and I literally have almost all of the wiring harness right here. Obviously some of it's still connected to our lovely starter, and let's move on to that starter because I'm going to have to ask you guys what you think. But does that look like a smaller starter than normal? And not a mini starter, but like a smaller starter, because that looks kind of weird to me, like it's small. Alright, moving on. Vans and RVs use these manifolds only, center dump. And yes, you see these bolts right here? Yeah, you need those. The outboards, regular nuts. Inboards, specialty. Okay? Standard pipe outlet comes down into the world's smallest exhaust pipe for a 440. This thing is like 2 inches and less in the bends. So this guy never really was breathing. Alright? Watch out, Malls. Alright, moving on. This is what you're going to see when you open your hood and you look at it. This is your oil fill tube. This is specific to the vans and RVs. You need this piece because that's how you fill your oil. Way over here at the valve cover. Okay? And you see how the breather and the air cleaner are set up to the front of the engine. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Alright. Grab that, would you, Chris? Don't let that break. Alright. Go to the back and just put it on the back. Right here. On the back of the trailer. Alright, moving along. I think this may have been an AC equipped RV at one point. I cannot confirm or deny because it only has one pulley on the bottom instead of 3 on the fan. But this is the plate you will need to run AC on a big block in your van. That can go. Oh, here, hold that up so I can get a good visual of it so they can see the angles, because that is got some angles on it. It is a specific piece. Thanks. Going this way, you're going to notice that you have to have all these brackets. You do not have these brackets, you are going to have lots of fun finding them. Okay? These also have very specific length bolts. Okay? Every one of these bolts is specific length. The power steering setup. You can't use your small block setup out of your van. You need the big block. Those brackets, that setup, and the regular hookups. Alright, moving on to the alternator. Now, Chrysler did a bunch of different things with this. Sometimes they used a bolt with dual spacers. This is a spacer right here. And sometimes they use two spacers. This particular application, you'll note the ridge on the bolt. Definitely a wild looking combo right here. I'm not sure if that's stock or if somebody's been here. But it is definitely all lined up. Everybody's lined up the way they should be. Pay no attention to that totally worn out fan belt, because yeah. Alright, what else we got? The carburetor. Now, most of you guys are going to change the carb anyways, but for those of you who do get one of these out of an RV, the first thing you're going to notice, if you're familiar with these, is that the Thermoquad doesn't have a single lick of emissions crap on it at all. That's the real deal right there. You push the pedal, that joker's going to howl. Okay? Moving along. Exhaust. Yep, we already did exhaust. Motor mount brackets. Motor mount brackets are specific side to side. I'm trying to show you guys the shape. In case you need to get you some of these, you can see the shape that we have. Okay? What else? The pan. Again, look at the pipe. As the pipe necks down, it goes to nothing. I mean, that's maybe a 2-inch pipe here. Imagine what that is right there. Going to the oil pan. Now, here's where we run into a bit of a thing. After looking at this, I can tell that this motor and tranny came out of a Class A. Like a big, huge Winnebago, you know. Clark Griswold, you know, borrowed from his brother or cousin-in-law or whatever. But on the Class A's, the pan is in the front. See that sump right there? Pan is in the front. On the Class C's, RVs, and vans, the pan is in the back. So I have to figure out whether that pan can simply be turned around and we need the proper pickup, or am I going to have to yank a whole nother big block to get this guy the right pan for his van? Okay, so that's the question I have for you guys watching this today. Can I just switch the pan around and get a different pickup for it so this all works? Okay, let me know if you know. Other good things. I think that's a cast, one of the first casts. It's a 74 or 75, so I don't know, 73 I think was the first. Maybe even 72. Huh. Other than that, it uses a pretty small radiator fan. I'm almost positive that the ones in our muscle cars were bigger, had bigger blades. And the pulley set that you're looking for, dual groove on top, triple groove on the bottom, basic setup, alternator, power steering. You guys all want to be stars today? What's going on here? Huh? What is it with y'all? All right. Other wacky stuff. The remnants of the cruise control system that I was talking about earlier. Literally a vacuum / cable rod / blah 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 activated. This is some pretty wild old technology right here. Nothing anybody's going to use now. But yes, this plate right here might actually come in handy for somebody doing a muscle car conversion. It has everything, including the starter wiring, still on it. So whoever cut this motor and tranny out, they did a decent job. Let me show you the shape of the driver's side. Motor mount bracket, for you guys who need to see that. Okay. And, I think that's about it, right? Tomorrow we'll, thank you, Molly. Tomorrow we'll get this over to the shop and get it cleaned up and start breaking it down for my guy in Cali. Alright. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If there's something that you need a part number or you want to share some knowledge, go for it. Ooh, speaking of knowledge, for those of you who are always asking, why is this hole in the transmission? You see those guys right there? That's your timing marks. When it's in an RV or a van, this is how you time the motor. You literally are shining it right down in there. Okay? So, there's your freebie question answer that you never really cared about that I answered anyways. Alright, peace out, people.